In this video, you're going to see my favorite seasons of anime for the year of 2023. So right off the bat, 2023 was one of my favorite years I've ever watched of anime, probably because I watched more than I ever have. But there was a lot of awesome content this year. Cutting it down to 5 was really hard. So just right off the bat, a couple of honorable mentions would be Zom 100 and Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Two new anime that really just from the first episode gripped me, and neither are done with season 1, but both are hopefully going to be mainstays that I'm watching for a long time. So let's kick off this list with number 5, something I had never heard of until I heard it had the highest rated first episode in anime history, and that is Oshi no Ko, an anime that, again, I had no idea was coming out, knew nothing about it until I heard that, decided to give it a watch, and it makes sense. It's very earned, made by the same guy who does Love is War, which is one of my favorite anime. And you can see a lot of the character interactions, and you can see a lot of the quirks and stuff that are in that. You can see the consistency there, but this is a much darker show. It was the first episode is so unlike how I expected it to be. There's body swapping and all sorts of weird stuff, and it's about a pop idol, and somehow the story just works so well. It really is handled masterfully. Some of the animation, especially when you get to the Akane stuff later on, or the big moment with it's just unreal. You can see every little stroke, and it's awesome. We didn't really get as far as I was maybe hoping to in season 1 in terms of pushing the story along, but I was gripped either way. Number 4, and this will probably be controversial that it's this low, Jujutsu Kaisen. So I should probably start off by saying not as big a Jujutsu guy as many are. And I'm not finished with this season yet, so theoretically it could go higher. But I was pretty mid on season 1. Season 2 has taken it to a completely different level. Those first couple of episodes with Toji, Gojo, and Geto really set the stage perfectly, and then the Shibuya incident has just been one crazy episode after another. I think objectively you could probably say this is arguably, the best anime of the year. It wasn't my favorite, but I really, really liked it. Sukuna has a chance to be an all-time great villain. His little couple episode arc here blew my mind. Even some of the little details, or just little petty things he did, like the wait, not now, wait, stuff like that. It was so cool to see. Or your heads are a little high and people immediately bow. The presence he has is something special, so I'm really excited to see more of him hopefully going on. Toji, another villain who didn't get a whole lot of build, and in a couple of episodes really made an impact. A lot of impactful moments already between deaths and complex emotions dealing with certain situations. If you're not a Jujutsu fan, or you're a little bit lower on it like I was, watch season 2, because it will win you over. It's up there. I know people have said it might be the best season of anime ever, and I'm not sure I quite agree with that, but I can see where people are coming from. Number 3, one of my favorite anime, Dr. Stone, season 3. This season, I was already a big fan of Dr. Stone from the first 2 seasons, but this one elevates the show so much because every character, like always, matters. You get so much emotion behind things, and it's just so fun watching these guys interact and go through things, and Senku just come up with the craziest ideas ever. I can't describe how cool it is where in most anime, I probably know 5 to 10 character names. And then the rest you like recognize the look, but you don't know the names. I know the names of pretty much every character in this show because they all consistently matter. They all chip in, and I love seeing that. Watching Senku just come up with nonsense time and time again to pull stuff off is always so entertaining. And for a show that does so much about teaching you about science, I love how it always comes back down to, at the end, like, it's about the people and, like, power of friendship. It does a really good job of managing, like, let's have fun, let's have emotional moments, let's get dark, and then let's have a really powerful dynamic, or let's save this moment for here that, like, makes everything so much more emotional. It just works so well. It's so well directed. I can't wait to see more. Where we're going, the end of season 3 is absolutely bonkers. I'm so excited that that's the direction we're going. It doesn't surprise me, but it's awesome. So yeah, in terms of favorites, this was my third favorite of the year. Number 2, Demon Slayer, Swordsmith Village. This one of my bigger issues with Demon Slayer is that it has such high highs, but pacing is a little bit of a struggle, at least through like the first 2 seasons. Like season 1 starts cool, tails off, picks up, tails off, and then ends really awesome. The Entertainment District starts off with a nice first episode, and then it kind of lulls for like 4 episodes, and then the action hits, and it becomes, probably the greatest action sequences of all time. The Swordsmith Village fixes that. The story is consistently engaging. There's a bunch of characters that you grow to actually give a shit about. The action is always good, but I like the way this is paced more, where everything is engaging throughout, and it keeps building and building and building to the finale, which is one of the best episodes of anime I've ever seen. Everything that happened with Nezuko, and then how they tied that to Muzan, it was amazing. It's hard to describe in any other way. You kind of feel like with the big moment they have that it might be kind of an ass pull or plot armor, and then you realize, oh no, like this is just the start. This is actually kind of a bad thing. And that was the coolest way to tie that into the main villain. And I know it's an anime only moment, I loved that they gave Tanjiro a send-off with the theme at the end. Just a really cool, heartwarming thing to see at the end of a season where there's a lot of bloodshed. And my favorite anime of 2023, My Hero Academia Season 6. A lot of the complaints of My Hero, especially like the last couple of seasons, is that it's kind of low stakes and there aren't really like major consequences. You can throw all of that out the door. Season 6 is clearly what the show has been building to. Season 1 through 5, there's so many little details that all tie in and enhance Season 6. The fight with Shigaraki that takes forever has so many consequences, not only for the heroes and their families, but for the world and for, civilians' trust in these people. And I absolutely love that. They made everything feel important without going into too many super serious deaths, which I think is really hard to do, to make things feel really important and high stakes when there aren't too many major people killed. And I thought they knocked that out of the park. And then you go into the second half of the season where you get, some stuff with the prison, and certain characters return, and some convicts are deeper than you might expect, and then you get the whole arc with Deku going from kind of Superman to Batman, and then the moments he has with his class, which are some of my favorite in probably all of anime. That like 2-3 episode stretch really hits me in the feels. Like, just you can tell how worn down and beat up and determined Deku is, and and he's getting nowhere, and like he has valid concerns, but like he's kind of pushed everyone away and everyone else wants to bring him back. It works so well. The stuff with Bakugo and Uraraka is absolutely incredible. I love this season. It's the best season of my second favorite anime. I mean, it was always going to win, but totally earned. This is one of the best seasons of anime that's ever existed, and it does not get enough credit.